hey guys. So, the reflection you're seeing is because I got a street light right there, see? You know? It's also dumping snow though, so all those spots, that's what that is pretty much. And there's nothing I can do about it, but as is helping with the lighting, right? Yeah, there you go. And by the way, Dan, truck's off, just for you. Just for you. Can't do nothing about the reefer though. That's still running. But got a little bit lucky this week. So did get a load, right? Good old fancy, yeah, see, you can really see it now. Good old fancy envelopes. I love, actually, it sounds dumb, but I love how each load I do comes with its own envelope. So like when I'm done with the week, you know, the stacks, I just put it right back in. I can never lose paperwork if I put it back in its envelope, pretty much. But I got a bit lucky. So for some reason, okay, like I said before, like for those who don't know or new, whatever, I do pretty much dedicating myself as an owner op to coast LTL. That's pretty much my niche. I found it works. I'm extremely profitable. I get 12%, currently 12% or 88%. I mean, of said rate, right? Which I give gross, so you guys do math off that, whatever. I'm not gonna share my contact, who the name of this is, because I just with this market, I'm not willing to, you know, lose any business. But I do my job, so they love me, so they keep me busy. Because I'm pretty much 3 months straight doing this. That's what happens. But their catch is they won't give you a load unless you want to do pickups. And for example, let's just use Boston, right? For Boston, 100-mile radius around Boston, maybe you might go it depends where you are, right? They try to have you do pickups depending where you are. So if I'm in Maine, right? Like that one delivery I did last month, a couple months ago, I don't remember exactly when. Where I delivered, I did 2 pickups in the town and 1 pickup in Maine, or the town next down, and brought them down to the cross dock. So you do 1 to 4 picks, bring it to the cross dock. Usually 1 to 3, sometimes 4 or 5, usually 1 to 3. And then you get your load at that night. They load you overnight pretty much, right? So all the other trucks bring their stuff in, they sort it, and they load you. So that's how that works. Now, I was told I had a load, okay? And I was like, cool. Because you gotta call, I call like Monday, let them know where I'm gonna be, the plan, etc., etc. They usually tell me call back Wednesday to confirm I got a load or not, or to be told bad news. But I told Wednesday I had a load. They send it over the afternoon. I call Wednesday afternoon, or text Wednesday afternoon. I'm like, hey, can I get my load? You know, the info. He's like, man, I'd love to, but management told me we're light on trucks this week, so we need people that can do pickups earlier to get the load. I called him up. I was like, man, that makes no sense. If you're light on trucks, and I'm gonna be in downtown Boston, right? Like, I'm on the pier. I'm in real estate, like peak real estate. You can move me wherever, right? I mean, from the cross dock to the other side, northeast corner, pretty much like, okay, where I was on the pier, north of me is like 20 miles, but the cross dock's like 70 miles away from that point, right? So like, cross dock, northeast corner, 70 miles. So I mean, you got a lot of real estate here, right? Like I said, 100-mile radius pretty much. He's like, man, I get it, I tried, but they said no. I was like, okay. And I looked on the spot market and I was like, man, I'd rather just sit for a week and just do shit next week at this point, right? Truck's paid for at this point, and bills are paid, right? Try to sit. Not running off the fucking, like $1.70 going down to Florida, like, no, fuck that shit, right? Like, it's just not worth it. Like, I'd just rather just sit at that point. Why burn the fuel? I got an APU. Like, I got food in the truck. Why burn the fuel? Like, my bills are literally paid for. The fuel in the truck's already paid for. Why do it? I mean, yeah, sitting's gonna suck. I have to go 40 miles away to a truck stop, but whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'll call back in the morning before I get my knickers in a bunch. I call on Thursday, and same answer. I'm like, okay. Well, I'll give him credit. He got off the phone and immediately went to management saying, pretty much went to bat for me. Because, like, I've been no complaints, no issues. I do my job, I communicate, right? If I know I'm going to be late, I'll let them know. It's LTL, so I mean, it's so many moving pieces. You can't have 100% accuracy, 100% on time with this. And when I say I be late, usually means somebody else held me up. And it just domino effects. Like a couple weeks ago, 10 hours between 2 stops, and put me 3 hours behind schedule for that whole day, pretty much. I thought it was going to be quiet here, but here comes another truck. Oh, blew his doors off a while ago. Alright. Well, he went to bat for me. And you know what? I ended up getting a load. What he ended up doing was able to convince on another driver to go do the pickups for me. Because he had already done his pickups to go do them for me on Friday, pretty much. And it costed them money, right? And pretty much means convince. If I had to guess, they probably give the guy like $300-400 to go do my pickups. They didn't take it from me, right? Because like they'll help you out every once in a while. Like coming out of Christmas, right? Gave me an extra $400. Didn't have to. And they said it's not all the time. Every once in a while we will. I was like, okay. I don't know. I ended up telling them, you know what? You going to bat for me speaks volumes. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing the right thing here, not just dedicating myself to somebody who could just toss me aside for any reason, pretty much. Because let's be honest, I'm doing a lot of risk. I mean, don't get a load over there, want to sit because of like a 3 month straight of this, right? It's very consistent and it's keeping me busy. I'm making 28, 34,000 every month. And when I say 28, that means if I do 2 West Coast runs, we're on East to West Coast, and then I have to do 2 West Coast to East Coast runs off the spot market. That's what I mean. Worst case scenario, right? Really, on average, I'm averaging about 32,000 gross a month. So, and I take 88% of that, and that's what I make it, pretty much, you know. When I was running the spot market pretty much all summer last year into the fall, I wasn't getting that. And that school fundraiser stuff, that was about 20 grand gross a month. 20, 21, So that is a lot of extra income I can't get otherwise. And it's not like I'm sucking up to these guys. No, like I do my job. They treat me like it's a partnership pretty much, right? It's not a contract. No, they don't have to give me loads. It's very much referral, word of mouth. I mean, you might get lucky finding on the spot market. I've seen plenty of the LTL stuff. Like there's like TTS or something like that out of the West Coast to do the same shit. There's someone out of Denver, right? This lane I run, now granted, I have to run high 13s, like 13.8 to 15,000 miles every month. But it's very consistent. It pays good, right? Like I get Boston and Maine, so Mass and Maine gives me 10 grand, right? That's what it pays currently, right? Could go up, could go down, who knows? All the rest of the East Coast, 9 grand. I don't know if Florida pays, maybe 10, who knows? Maybe 12, who fucking knows? Boston to northwest, doesn't matter which state, pays 7 grand. California pays less, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Now, there is Maryland, right? But Maryland pays more, but it's fresh, which 30 degrees is fresh, but yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. 10 minutes of that shit. Let's see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I got 14 of these off myself. Okay, I had a little help. During this week also, the girlfriend is down in Denver with family celebrating her aunt's birthday, 60th birthday, I guess. So, which actually ended up being a huge benefit in my favor because where was I going for about a day and a half? Denver. So she had the weekend with them, and then I got her for a day and a half. So Worked out in my favor. But this load was what the fuck? This load was 31.9. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get some fuel mileage. Sorta. Finished the week of 6.3. But I got to Ohio border 7.2. So what the fuck happened? Well, doing great. Doing 68, 70 miles an hour, doing great. Then I got that wind. Headwind, 5.5 from Ohio to about Iowa, right? When I say Ohio, pretty much from Ohio border to Avoca. That's Iowa. And then from there to Cheyenne for my first stop, I got 4.2. Doing 65. 50 miles an hour gave me 6. And that was too slow. I didn't have enough time for that shit. So, 55 still gave me under 6. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing 65. I'm just going to fucking just cry about it. Because I filled up in New York and put 100 gallons in Denver. 100 fucking gallons. Do you know how bullshit that is? It's only like 460 miles. Something like that. I forget exact math. Or exact mileage, I mean. But, yeah, first stop was the Walmart DC in Cheyenne. And I had to do more work on the APU. I fucked up, okay? For those who don't know, we're still here. If you're going to replace the air dryer, now the air dryer, the hoses going to the air dryer have O-rings. They don't need anything special. But the high pressure switch needs some sealant on the threads. So I didn't do that. I fucked up. Rookie mistake. I learned, a $180 lesson pretty much I learned. Didn't need a new switch, but I did need to did need to recharge the APU. Downside is, I wasn't willing to let a Petro or whatever touch it again because I want somebody who knows where I fucked up to point it out. So I went to Thermo King in Cheyenne. $350 later, I was at the door. Yeah, double the price, but whatever. They also tightened my belt down all the way that I could not get tighten up down all the way. So cool, not bad because then I put both belts on myself, the air dryer and the switch myself. So you know what? I tried. I got 2 of the things right. Oh, a truck by the park next to me. It's all starting to get a little cold in this truck because the truck's not running, and my bunk heater doesn't work, and my space heater's on the bed. But then I went down to Denver, okay? And this is when it got a very long day, because Sam's Club or Walmart DC was 2 o'clock in the morning. Then it was 6 o'clock down to Whole Foods. Then 08:30, the pet food experts. I showed the pet food experts. This was fucking stupid. Showed up there. 2 pallets, 1,700 pounds. I go in there. He's like, hey, we don't see you, but it's just 2 pallets. I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay, go ahead and put yourself in the door. I'll load you myself. I'm like, cool. He comes out. He says, hey, man, you got more than 2 pallets. And also, boss man said, we can't take it. I was like, no, I only got 2 pallets. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, come here, show me. I don't know what the fuck was the issue because they all have labels on them. They all have their names on them. I even said to him in the office, they have your name on them. I was like, this one and this one, all the rest aren't for you. He's like, oh, well, bossman still said I can't take you. He's like, I don't know why, but we can go back to the office and look. Come to find out, when it got scheduled originally, somebody accidentally clicked on the wrong category for the load, and this warehouse canceled it and literally said, because you've been canceled, got to reschedule to the right category of the load. So pretty much it's like somebody might have put like LTO dry instead of LTO frozen. I call in to let them know because I'm getting rejected. Nothing I did. And the guy goes, wow, that's wild. Like, you just tell, like, that's just some bullshit he's heard. So pretty much I had to go to the crossdock. But after that, I had the girlfriend come meet me at the truck stop. We took a shower, hit the road, well, went to the crossdock, and then went about our normal route schedule. 11 a.m. down to Cisco. And at Cisco, as usual, the one on Beeler Street, It's some fucking bullshit, man. 3 pallets took 4 hours. I was unloaded a half hour. The rest of it I was waiting on paperwork. Then I went down to Aurora, where last time I was late at this place called Tony's Market, okay? And there is no dock. There is no dock. It's fucking roll up doors, box trucks. There is no docks. You pretty much you come in off Lima, right? Turn on the Kaylee. It's right behind the U.S. Foods, for those who know, right? You back it off the street, in between these two buildings. They borrow the forklift from the neighbor, put a pallet jack up in there. Crew comes up, moves the pallets down, forklift grabs it. Easy peasy, right? Just, I gotta help a little bit. Technically I don't have to, but there's always one guy who will never get in the trailer. He's a big boy, refuses to get in the trailer. I don't get paid driver assist, so technically I'm doing it out of my own pocket. But whatever, in and out 20 minutes, I don't mind the place. Like, me and this other skinny guy just busted shit out. They got 3 pallets, which was really like 5, because I guess they broke some pallets down and to stack them up on top of other pallets, because 34 pallets fit in this trailer, so not a lot of room. And it was all the way to the door, by the way. The Walmart DC, one of the pallets was leaning up, the top of the pallet was up against the door, so, you know, it was a full trailer. Then I went to the Kihi at 1800. I go in there, right? And I'm like, yo, if you guys get me out by 1900, I'll fucking love you guys. Because I've been up since 1 a.m., right? So it's been a long day already. No joke. 40 minutes later, they call me. They're like, and I go in there, I'm like, atta boy, I'm so proud of you. Big, well, it was a girl, but like, I was like, that's pretty much, they knew what I meant, right? But she walked, I gave her the biggest smile. Like, made her night. No, I didn't. Not with that fucking smile, right? I mean, it was one pallet. I was like, to be fair, it was one pallet, right? But I'm exhausted. Like, and I had to be up fucking 2 o'clock in the morning to go 10 minutes down the road to the Safeway DC. So I needed some sleep, and I could not afford to be there for 2, 3, 4 hours and get woken up because I was tired. That was a long day. I dropped 9 drops, I believe, in Denver. I lost 21,000 pounds of this load in Denver, so it was a busy day in Denver. Pallets were getting moved. Started my day again, 2 o'clock in the morning, get to Safeway DC for a 3 o'clock appointment, right? Security guard was a bit of a racist because I didn't. It's funny how if you don't follow, like, if it's just funny how accepted racism is from like certain groups of people, but like if I did exactly what she did to me the opposite way, I'm the biggest asshole, right? It's funny how that works. When all because I didn't park my truck the exact way she wanted. It's like, and I don't know. To be fair, I did call her. I told her to take her grumpy ass and go away, pretty much. But that doesn't call for racism. It's like, I don't get it. Whatever. Old hag. I get it. Like, at that age, I want to go working at Safeway, and, you know, there's a security, like, just making sure trucks go the right way. I get it. But 2 o'clock, like 2:30 in the morning, too early for that shit. Especially when you don't have sleep the day before. But whatever, I was in and out there in a couple hours. Not a fan of that DC. Been there plenty of times, so whatever. Then, remember that U.S. Foods I was talking about that was right in front of Tony's? Yeah, I had to go back there. Yeah. It's kind of retarded. I had to go back there. For 5 a.m. for 2. I guess it's 4 pallets, but 2.5 pallets. I don't know. But I thought that pretty quick because that drop did not require a lumper, even though I spent $800 on lumpers. Yeah. And then I went to this place called Greco & Sons off 40th Avenue for an 8 a.m. appointment. 1 pallet, right? 1,500 pounds. I have never seen, this is a new warehouse, no joke, never seen so many goddamn speed bumps in my life around one building. Every about 2 to 3 truck lanes, there's one speed bump. Or 2 miles an hour was too fucking fast. Girlfriend was laying in bed still, right? And I finally had to set the brakes. She's like, what the fuck was all that? And I was like, it's just speed bumps. Like, I don't know why they needed so many. There was like 20 of them. It was ridiculous. But, and I was in that place in 20 minutes. Like, why can't all the places be like that? One pallet in and out in 20 minutes? Most of that was me getting into the door and getting checked in, so. Then I went to PFG, which is Performance Food Groups, right? And, yeah, it's not a very truck-friendly place. So, like, I don't know why the whole entrance is tight. And, like, why is the entrance so tight? I don't get it. Like, there's a curve behind the security guard that two trucks can't pass. Yeah, it's kind of dumping out there. Can't pass at the same time. Like, if I'm trying to turn right to go in, they can't turn left to come out. We literally run into each other. Why that was designed like that? No idea. And that's a new building. So, who fucking knows? But that took 2.5 hours for fucking one pallet. I don't remember if it was lumper or not. I want to say no. And then here's where it gets interesting, okay? So, when I was given this load, okay? So, they planned these loads originally outlined 12 stops. They planned you be able to do 12 stops. On time, no issues. Anything more, they know they're probably more likely going to have to do some redeliveries, okay? So, there was a Boise at 11 a.m., okay, for the next day, pretty much. And then a 2300 in Portland, okay? Contact gets a hold of me. He's like, hey, how do you feel about the Boise one? I was like, well, as of right now, this is before I got even all the way in Denver, right? And this is like on the way over, halfway over. I'm like, it's probably going to be either Boise or Portland, one or the other. Okay. So I call him when I'm leaving Denver. I'm saying, hey, probably going to be a couple hours short of Boise or on-time delivery. So it's like, which one do you want? Do you want the Portland one on time? Do you don't want this one? He's like, let's do the Portland one on time. I was like, okay. I'm like, just gonna skip. Oh no, I was in Denver. I hadn't left yet. I was like, okay, I'll just skip Boise. So he texts me just on leaving Denver. He's like, plan still to skip Boise? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, just need to make sure so I can just let everybody know. I'm like, okay. So Boise got erased pretty much. Well, temporarily. They went somewhere else. I go straight to Safeway, okay? 2300 appointment. I show up at 1800. No, it was like 1750, right? I go check in. Must check in 300 within 300 minutes of your appointment. I'm like, and it's like, so pretty much it also said must wait 6 minutes check or 10 minutes check in. I was like, are you fucking for real? Like, I can check in 5 hours early, but 5 hours 10 minutes? No, too fucking early. Yeah, I was out there for fucking 8:30, and then I did no. I was like, cause I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to Ridgefield, to go Unify. I just stayed there. There's no overnight parking, but I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay here, keep to myself. I'll be out within like 5 hours anyways, so nobody threw a fit. Don't get used to doing that, cause there are yard dogs. Eventually, somebody will notice, and as long as you're good, I think they kind of love just leave you be. As long as you're not taking a 10 there. But last time I was at Unify, remember I took 5 hours because I was late by 20 minutes. That was not my doing because of Winco, right? Well, I go there. They put me in the door 30 minutes after my appointment. Funny how they could be late, but if I'm late, no, right? I just fucking dump in. All right. Not only was my lumper $55, which it's like, I could have sworn that's like a fraction, like maybe a half or a third of what I'm used to paying over there, right? I was out in an hour and a half. I was out by like 5:20, so a little over an hour and a half, actually. So I sent a text to my contact. I'm like, yo. He sent me something. I said, all right, he sounds good. And then I forget what he said, right? Nothing important, right? I think he was letting me know about something. But I said, also, Unify was great. And I guess there was some hostilities, not from him. He just used leverage that he had, customers as leverage. But I guess Unify got a little hostile because he asked what my ETA was, let me go because I was Like, just because I was late by 20 minutes, and not my doing. It is LTL, right? That is going to happen LTL. What's my ETA being let go? And they got all fucking pissy, I guess. I get it from both sides, but come on, I mean, like, you know, as a warehouse, you know it's an LTL inbound, you know, right? And not like I can unload this shit, right? I can't. There's some warehouses I can, but some I can't. Which, I would have been out of there probably like 20 minutes if I could. But then you gotta break it down and blah, blah, blah. But whatever. We'll see if it stays consistent. We'll find out probably next week. Because I go there every week. But then I go to this place called Whiskey Hill Smokehouse in Hubbard. That was an interesting place. Interesting place. So Google Maps says the building's on one side of the street, but really it's on the opposite side of the street. So I don't know. I got lucky, I guess. Because they don't open until 7. So I choose to sit. Well, I guess was lucky because where I was sitting was a parking lot of some other business. It wasn't even like it didn't have their name on it. So I got lucky because the guy came out like 6:50 knocking on my door, and he's like, "What'd you got?" I was like, "Something," and he had the Whiskey Hill hat, and I was like, "Something for you." He's like, "For like the company that I'm sitting next to, or for me?" He's like, "I'm like, it's for you, the Whiskey Hill." He's like, "Okay." Downside is because I had 2 stops left. There was a trailer. No, technically I had 4 pallets left, 3 stops, but that's because one, never got delivered. But it was pinwheeled, and then that was, I guess, another pinwheel load. And what that means is both pallets. There's a way you had to put the pallet jack or forklift into a pallet. Well, when it's pinwheeled, you can't get a pallet jack in. Pinwheel means like if this is normal, right? So the forks can go in, they're sideways, so you can't get the forks in. And if we didn't have rope, we didn't have chain long enough. Otherwise, we just pull the fucker straight out. Pretty much, they asked the trailer, didn't have the forklift, turn it and grab it. We couldn't do that though. So he went and got some hands, and they downstacked onto 2 pallets. Cat, we're not doing that. You know better. Chair's not a scratching post. Stop it. Alright. And then I ended up taking the Cisco. Took it down to J&D cross dock, right? Been there plenty of times. Since I was, believe it or not, I was early. I don't think they were expecting probably till like 10 or 11, maybe 9, because Unify had me off so fast. If there were me and the other dude off. Like, I was early. I was over there at 8 o'clock. I unload that pallet myself, and I technically had 1 more stop left, right? But that was going up to Kent for redelivery. They were gonna have somebody else redeliver, right? It's going up to the Kent warehouse where I normally reload. When I go east, and that was going to be a redelivery. I didn't have to do. So technically, I was empty. Yet, so I called up my contacts. But you guys have to wait for that next week because. That's next week's bullshit, right? But let me tell you though, going through an extra $400 of fucking fuel sucked. Like, I was not planning on getting 5.5 mpg all day and then 4.2. That made me want to cry inside a little bit, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. But see you guys next time. Stay safe out there. Bye.